clear 7-inch from the Paramore. Well, I'm going to have to refilm that. Hello, I'm the Pirate Novelist, your captain to the rough seas of media, and welcome to another video on my channel. I know it's been quite a while, but life found a way to kind of throw a wrench into things, so that's kind of why I have been able to post as much as I want to, but now I'm kind of in a lull point to where I actually can. So I thought I'd just post a video here real quick, kind of going over what I've been picking up recently, kind of what I've been listening to recently, recent pickups, and also talk about Record Store Day, because today is Black Friday, so happy Thanksgiving to you if you're watching this on Thanksgiving, and just you do what's post Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. This is a wonderful time of the year to absolutely give thanks for everything we have. If we're in a really good life situation, even if you're in a really bad life situation, you should always find something to be thankful about. Just wanted to kind of go over a few things that I picked up in the last couple of months or so since my last video. So I recently joined Amazon Prime, which is a wonderful service. So I use that to listen to my music and watch a few movies here and there. And one of the albums that I picked up is a Amazon exclusive, but it is Bourns Dopamine here. Now, I got to see Bourns play live recently. Here, I'll just look here. I got to see Bourns play live recently via acoustic session on this really cool museum that was kind of on the ocean front. Not really ocean front, but like a bay front. So it was a very cool kind of mellow acoustic set. So it was perfect for that kind of feeling. You know, it had a really good vibe to it. This is on red vinyl. This was via Amazon. I'm not going to take it out of the MoFi sleeve here, but you can probably most definitely see that is red there. And I'll just show you real quick. This sounds really good. Here, I'll show you real quick. It's translucent red. Very good. He's very alternative in his style of music, and it's almost like poppy alternative. And I've been into that, but recently I've been also into a bunch of heavier metal too, so I don't have too much heavy metal in my collection. I'm going to eventually, but like the next one I'm about to show you, sometimes I just find random stuff that I find kind of cool in like my local thrift store. And I've talked about this before. Found it at my local thrift store and just decided to pick it up because I thought it was cool. This was a pickup that I had found at my local thrift store, and that is ELO, or Electric Light Orchestra's new world record. As you can see, the cover's pretty beat up, but the LP, which is standard black, was pretty decent. Got it for a really decent price, and I've listened to it and I really like it. I think I still even have the original inner sleeve with the song lyrics. Now, normally when the inner sleeve has song lyrics like that, I tend to keep it in there, but had a few left over these white sleeves, and I have a little bit of a semi-rotational system to where once I get them all in MoFi sleeves, I will, but this, the sleeve that I had was just a teeny bit better than the sleeve that it was in, so that's normally sometimes why I do that, but I'll show you the front and the back here. Yeah, and a lot of my collection, well, a bunch of my collection is thrift store finds, and if you just hit it right, like I did this past month or so, if you just happen to hit it right, you can really find some good stuff in your bargain bins. One example of that, I found Santana's Greatest Hits. This is from 1974. So he's had many more, obviously many more hits than this, but just kind of decided to pick it up because I don't have a Santana, and this was kind of perfect. I like compilations. Sometimes if I can't find too many albums, I tend to just go for compilations because I feel like those are the best options for me. The next pickup I have is a Foreigner release. I believe this is self-titled. Yeah. So this is a Foreigner's release here. Foreigner is just one of those bands that I listened to growing up, and one of my favorite songs when I was younger is Cold as Ice. Here, I'll show you the inner sleeve here. And Cold as Ice just happens to be, here I'll show you the back. Cold as Ice just happens to be on this album. I have 4, and I know I have the greatest hits on cassette and CD, so just adding the collection of Foreigner, I had to pick it up. I have a couple of 7-inches that I picked up that I kind of want to intermix in between here. Not too much on the 7-inch side, but the first one I have is Phantogramm's You Don't Get Me High Anymore and Same Old Blues. This is just on a standard black record, but I love these the label that they had put this on. It matches that. Have not gotten to actually get Phantogramm's album just yet, which is called 3. But what was kind of cool is if you pick this up at your local indie store, you got a $2 off coupon for the record. So I haven't exactly used that yet. So I eventually do plan on using that. But this is a wonderful song, and from time to time I do like to collect 7-inches just because it's easier sometimes to find a single song and just listen to that than it is to get the full album. Not saying that I'm like that. I actually like to buy albums based upon a single song, and you know that was the way it used to be back in the day, and I kind of feel like that's my mentality. I should support the artist through the full album than just buy the single, but sometimes like this one here, it's just kind of cool to have the single. So it's no stranger, and I am wearing my Pearl Jam shirt here. It's no stranger that I like Pearl Jam, so I had to grab the Given to Fly recent release here, the 7-inch. It has Given to Fly, Pilot, and Leatherman. Yeah, it's Pearl Jam is just one of those amazing shows that I post a video on it. I'll probably put like a link in the description of that video, but that was just a fantastic concert, and just I have Pearl Jam 10, and thanks to Vonda Collector James and that contest, I have Temple of the Dog, so it was just kind of fitting that for right now I just have this single. I plan on getting some more albums eventually, but you know, this is kind of like an addiction a little bit, so I kind of have to prioritize the things that I can get. But this was just kind of one of those later pickups since the last video that I thought was kind of cool. The next set of 4 I'm just going to kind of whip through here. These were ones that I decided to take a chance on. These were thrift store pickups, but I decided to take a chance on them. I didn't know anything about them, and as I talked about my in one of my other videos, I grabbed the Breathless 3 Times and Waving, and I've listened to the Schulben and Schultz, and those were 2 very fantastic albums, and I only paid about $1 for them. So a lot of the times I'll just find something, find it interesting, and I know you shouldn't really judge an album on its cover, but sometimes that cover just kind of grabs you, and you're like, oh, okay, I kind of want to give this a chance. First one is Joey Wilson, Going Up. Let's see here, it's a Modern Records Inc. It's a gold stamp promo here. And some of these I actually haven't listened to yet, so this is going to be on the turntable here shortly. I have Recorded Live, Michael Wendroff. Looks like a singer-songwriter vibe. And it says here on the sticker, I don't know if you can see that, distributed by RCA right there. I have listened to this one, and that's Joanne Mackerel, or Mackerel. I don't know, I was just pulled in by this cover, and it's not in my top 10 albums, definitely. I have to have an acquired taste for it to listen to it, but it was very cool and catchy, and I dug her voice. She has a very distinct voice, and I know that's strange to say. You know, some people should say singers have a distinct voice, but this was a really distinct voice, and I kind of enjoyed that. Came with a lyric inner sleeve here. Yeah, this one was pretty interesting, and sometimes, you know, you knock it out of the park, and sometimes, you know, you get in between, and I don't mind that, especially because some of these, when I pick these up at thrift stores, they're not breaking the bank exactly, so you get some stuff that you can listen to off and on, and you get some stuff that you listen to a lot. My last one here is The Secret Life of Eddie Frank by Janice Ian. Insert Mean Girls reference here. I saw Janisine once before, passed up on it. I thought, well, I was in the mood to, take a chance here, and I thought, well, I need to listen to this. So this is on the, this is in the current rotation. I haven't listened to it just yet, but I'm about to here in the next couple of days. So I'm pretty sure I may like it. It's like here, it's got an interesting cover, so I'll take a listen to it and see what I think. The next one here, this is one of those rare times where, my goodness, when you find something, snatch it up. For example, I found a Sticky Fingers, I think? Yeah, Sticky Fingers by the Rolling Stones at a thrift store. And I was so glad I grabbed it. It's a decent condition for a good price. And this just so happened to be another one that was a decent condition at a good price. And that's Queen's Clearwater Revival's 1970. Now, this was a double LP, actually 2 albums that was put into a special place 2 record set. This is Pendulum and Chaos Factory. I'll show you the back. It has the original backs here and all the track listings. And here, it's a nice little gatefold that has both covers there in its full glory. And then if you open this up, they have, it's on Fantasy Records, and I think this was an Australian press that I had. But very good sounding. I was very surprised to see how good a condition it was in, and I quickly ditched the inner sleeves because they were yellowed and very bad condition. I knew it was not good condition for the records, that's why I have these MoFi sleeves on them, but this was just one of those times when, I kind of knocked it out of the park and for a decent price at the thrift store. I've listened to both of these, and my goodness, sometimes I forget how much CCR I really liked. I get into moods when I listen to certain things here and there, but this had just the right amount, and Cosmos Factory was just perfect to sit and listen to and just kind of kick back after a long day. It's the same as Pendulum, but this, if you can find this, I don't know how reasonably priced it is, but that's 2 CCR albums in one, and I think that was a pretty good pickup for me. The last one of 2 that I'm going to talk about before I get into the Record Store Day story proper is one that many people know that I like this band, and I've waited kind of a long time to finally get a copy of one of their albums, and this was a recommendation from a friend who was bigger into the band than I was, and I've only recently just kind of gotten back into their sound, and that is, of course, Tonight Alive, and their latest album, Limitless. I'll show you this. It is on a awesomely cool gatefold cover. This album was a departure from their normal, I don't want to say pop punk, but punk kind of sound and mentality, and they've, kind of changed their thinking on some of the music, and I really enjoyed this particular record. One cool thing, and I always love it when these come, when, someone decides to come out with it. This is a wonderfully awesome, not huge, but awesome poster, wow. Poster. And it has all the lyrics here. They're a little out of order, so had I not known, the exact order of everything already by listening to it over and over again on Amazon Music, you could easily be lost. Everybody knows that while I do like colored records, I tend to lean more towards the black records just because of sound quality and everything, and this is on a awesomely cool clear vinyl here. You can probably see that through the MoFi sleeve, but here I'll just take it out. I only have a couple of clear records. This being one, I have the We Are the In Crowd, Clear Splatter, and then my 21 Pilots Vessel release is completely clear, and then I have a clear 7-inch from Paramore's self-titled album, and I'm really excited for the new album that's going to be coming out. They haven't said anything as of this video, but I know I am super duper excited for that, so I'm going to definitely be keeping an ear out for that. Okay, now it's time to talk Record Store Day. This year marks my third or fourth year overall doing this, and we have, of course, the 2016 Record Store Day here and the 2015 Record Store Day here. As you might have noticed at the beginning of the video, I decided to kind of change up my background. For this video, I'm going to be trying to rotate a few things, but I had a few posters here and there that kind of just wanted to showcase. And yeah, I just decided to change up my background for a little bit. This marks my, as I said earlier, this marks my 4th year of going to Record Store Day, and I didn't film, I wanted to film a vlog style of this, and I didn't get to it just because of kind of things here and there, kind of with the chaos of Thanksgiving before that, and just kind of overall chaos that's been going on as to why I've been not able to post videos as much as I want to. I plan, because next year is, I think, yeah, the 10th anniversary of Record Store Day. I think I will definitely do a vlog that time and kind of just go over my whole day with that. But this year was very successful. I got everything on my list because I tend to go really early, and that's one of my recommendations is if you're going to be going to Record Store Day, to get there not as early as possible, but get there definitely early. I've always had a pleasant time with the record store that I always go to. He hands out the numbers at a decent time, and everybody's kind of orderly. We kind of go our separate ways before then, and before we head into the store, we line up and number order, and everything's clean and efficient and done so well. And I think that's overall just kind of how Record Store Day is. I mean, I've always had positive experience. I haven't heard anybody else have a negative experience about that, but one thing that's kind of cool about the store I go to is they offer, they had a cool kind of breakfast and raffle kind of deal, and I actually won a prize from that, and let me pull it here. Most of these posters, for example, here and here, this was given out, but some of these posters actually were contests that I had won, so that's kind of why I wanted to showcase it. I had won a contest. I've heard of test pressings before, but I didn't have too much knowledge, and this one just so happened to be on the table, and I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. I won a test pressing of the Moondoggies' Don't Be a Stranger here. It was released on 10/7/2016 from RTI, or Record Technology Inc. The owner of the store said that this was directly from you know, the plant, the labels. So I think that's kind of cool. I'm more than likely not going to play this because I know test pressings can be kind of a rare deal, and I kind of want to keep the integrity of this here. So I bought myself, I was out and about for other things on Record Store, wow, Black Friday. I keep forgetting it's Black Friday too. Was out and about, picked up a cover for this. So this is going to be, along with my Ain't It Fun signed album, this is going to be one of those wall pieces and conversation pieces. So I have never had a test pressing until now, and now that I'm actually happy to have it, yeah, this is kind of cool. So I'll probably more than likely be listening to these guys on Amazon Music, if not Spotify. So if you know anything about this band, please let me know. I found that these guys were just kind of cool about the cover, and then I found out they're Seattle-based, so it kind of makes me want to listen to this, but kind of not. So yeah, that's one of the cool things that happened today, and just had a pretty much fun day. So yeah. Have a couple more 7 inches to show you. One is a few years ago Record Store Day release that I had on my list. Wasn't able to get it, and I have it now. And that is Lake Street Dives, What I'm Doing Here, and Wedding Band. This is on a standard black with the cool, you don't need the adapter kind of inner circle here. I had wanted this one for quite a while because I just absolutely fell in love with what I'm doing here, and there's just certain nights that I just need to, you know, kick back and mellow out, and this is the perfect song to do that. The next thing isn't exactly a Record Store Day release, but to me, it's kind of cool, and it kind of caught my eye. I had a little bit of extra in my budget from the things that I initially wanted to get, so I decided to just pick this up, and that is Beck. I just started hanging some people today, and Blue Randy. This is one of those singles that Third Man Records put out. Here, I'll take it out of here so you can take a look. See? Here, it's on standard black. It's not one of the ones that they put out that was colored, but I still definitely enjoy Third Man Records and Jack White, and to me, I enjoy Beck too, so I was like, yeah, why not pick this up? Okay, so now we are on to the big three things that I got for Record Store Day. One of these things, and I'll show it last, was the big thing that I was really wanting, and the next two were, the two that I'm going to be showing you were kind of like, okay, they were on my list. Honorable mentions that I kind of wanted was the Lumineers. I heard there was some places that were getting the 21 Pilots. I didn't see it at my store. The Alice Cooper I thought was kind of cool. The chance to, it's a really cool EP, but it was also the chance to kind of get a signed one if you got the right one, which I thought was kind of cool. There was a couple others. In This Moment, I Almost Made It, the Suicide Squad soundtrack, and the Lumineers. So I didn't see Lumineers there, but I grabbed everything very quickly, you know, looked for a couple minutes and got out. That's the way it kind of feels. Like I get in, get out, so everybody else behind me can get in and get what they need. So one of these days I'll actually get back after I pick up everything to kind of see what they have. But yeah, I'll one of these years I'll actually go for the early stuff, come back a little later to kind of double patronize, and that's one reason why I choose to go to Record Store Day and, you know, basically buy stuff from the local business, because I want to support my local record store. And I think this one, yeah, Vinyl Days got into the top 18. I'll put a link down there to in the description about that particular article on there, but I thought that was kind of cool, and I always have a wonderful time there, and I want to make sure that that record store is going to be there for a very long time. So the first thing I picked up is Soundgarden's Satan Oscillate, My Metallic Sonatas. I know that is quite a mouthful, and it's down here backwards, but this is an EP that came out. It was originally on a CD, but this, as you can tell, is the Bad Motorfinger era. It has Into the Void, Stealth, Girl You Want, Stray Cat Blues on side 1. She's a Politician, and Slaves and Bulldozers live on side 2. Now, I don't know what color this is, and I don't plan on actually opening it on camera like I normally do, because this is actually a Christmas gift. Well, mainly for me, but I kind of like to buy, at Black Friday, I kind of like to buy them and then hold on to them until Christmas, so then I actually have, you know, something cool to open and sit and listen to. So I can wait. I waited this long. I can wait just a little bit longer. But yeah, so Soundgarden, and as everybody knows, I'm big into the sound music scene. Got to see them. I hope to see them again. I saw them a few years ago in Nine Inch Nails. But yeah, this is one of those releases that I was just kind of, initially didn't make it on my list, but as soon as I took a look at it, I was like, yeah, it's on my list. Next, this is a band that I've talked about before and I fell in love with, and it was because of this particular album that I fell in love with them. And that is Volbeat's Beyond Heaven, Above Hell. It is on 2 LPs, and apparently, well, this is actually the first time it's available on vinyl in the US, and includes an MP3 download code for the entire album. So if you look here, it's kind of got this really cool double circular deal going on. I've listened to this album multiple times, and what I found is Volbeat actually puts extra songs on their albums and only on vinyl, which you know, is kind of cool, but makes it kind of a collector's deal. And I love Ecotone from Outlaw Gentlemen and Shady Ladies, but it's not on the actual digital release. So I think it's just kind of cool to have a band that puts it out vinyl only, and that's just so cool. I find that cool. And then of course here's the back. That song Heaven Nor Hell, which is the second track, is what got me into them. And Mirror and the Ripper is such a good song. It's one of the best I feel of theirs. And if you flip it over here, $16 is another one of my favorites. Warrior's Call is on here. Evelyn is another good song, and of course that last one there, Angel F. Have not heard that song. Cannot wait to hear that. But apparently this is on a double gold LP, and I cannot wait to sit and listen to it. And yeah, like I said just a few minutes ago, that I like to hold on to these to Christmas so I can have something to listen to at Christmas. So yeah, that's kind of why I hold on to these, and it's just kind of something to get me through the holiday, pre-holiday season, and just something I always look forward to around Christmas time. So if I cannot recommend this album enough, I can recommend Guitar Gangsters and Cadillac Blood, which is actually my favorite Volbeat album, but I really needed to fill out my Volbeat, and I was so glad that they put this out that I grabbed this. But this guy right here is from Guitar Gangsters and Cadillac Blood. He's Mr. Cadillac, and Guitar Gangsters and Cadillac Blood came before this, so I like the little bit of continuity that they have in between those two albums, and I think they have some continuity in between this one and Outlaw, Gentlemen, and Shady Ladies. I don't believe there's any continuity in between Outlaw and Seal the Deal, but that has yet to be determined because I don't have the vinyl record for it just yet. The last pickup I have for now, and I promise I will be back to making my videos here semi-regularly as much as I can when I'm not focusing on my photography and all the like. The last pickup was my number one on my list, and that is Alice in Chains' Live, or Facelift Live. Now, those who know me know I absolutely adore Alice in Chains, and this is the first time that this has been put onto vinyl, and this is limited edition numbered. I have number 314-00314, so I'm pretty happy that I got in the 314 range. This has Lane Staley, Jerry Cantrell, Mike Starr, and Sean Kinley, the original lineup. And I'm not going to say I'm a purist on that. I love Mike Inez. Mike Inez is one of my favorite bassists of all time, and yeah, I miss Lane dearly, but I also think Will is such a good replacement. And I didn't have a Alice in Chains release until now, and I finally have it. So I kind of wanted to just kind of show that. This was originally on just a VHS. I don't even think it made it to a CD. Yeah, it's digital download, streaming, and compact disc. So this is the first time it's actually been released on this kind of format, which I think is kind of cool. Cut here. Itch. Speaking of numbers, while I have this up, I've been collecting for about 3 or so years, and I always set a goal for myself, and I know it's quality over quantity a lot of the times, but when I was initially starting out, it's just like, oh, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool. I didn't even realize it, but I made a goal for myself this year, and I know numbers just kind of superfluous in a lot of sense, but this actually represents, if not my 400th, my over the threshold 400th. So I believe before this day I had 397. So this represents 398, 399. Let's see, okay, it was a 397 beforehand. So that's 397. Back is 398. Moon Doggies is 399. Yep. Soundgarden is my 400th. Volbeat's 401, and this is 402. So I finally met my match. Well, met my number. I wanted to make 400. So this represents my 400. So I think, I've talked to a lot of people on Facebook who, we talk about numbers and, what is a mid-range, what's a low end. So I finally hit the mid-range collection. In my mind, I'm at a mid-range collection. So that means a lot to me because, it means that I'm a little more serious now. Not that I wasn't serious beforehand. I mean, I just love to get these when I can, but to hit 400, it meant a lot to me. So I was gonna have a little gimmick to Road to 400, but seeing as I already hit it, why go with a gimmick? I may do that next year, although may do that to the Road to 500, but yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing with this. So to kind of wrap it up, that's just been my pickups for the last couple of months. I know I've been quiet with the videos. Life just had a way of, kind of throwing the boat around, for lack of a better term, just tossing the boat around. So finally have a little bit of a low moment to get this out. I know I wanted to do this, and I know my last video was, back in April. Jeez and Pete's. No, it was past that, I think. Well, yeah, it's just life has been so crazily busy, and I'm wanting to get back into this, so I'm going to, find some video ideas, go through that, and I know I was going to put out the Harlow thing, and I made those promises, and it's life just got in the way. But one promise I can make from now on is I'm going to put effort into these videos, and I'm going to put them out as best I can. So thanks for sticking with me. I want to wish you, when you're watching, a very happy Thanksgiving, and hopefully a wonderful happy holidays, no matter what holiday you celebrate. I particularly celebrate Christmas. If I have any Jewish viewers, happy Hanukkah, but just overall happy holidays. I think it's one of the best things because it doesn't matter what you celebrate. This is just a nice time of year to, focus on the good things. I know there's been a lot of bad, and I'm not going to want to talk about that too much, but I know there's been a lot of bad in the world, but I think it's time now to kind of come together and, think of the positives in life. So that's what I'm going to do. If you don't see it past Christmas, which I don't think I will delay another video until that time, but I will definitely find something to talk about before then. But until the next video, I'm the Pirate Novelist, and I always say, when the waters get rough, keep on sailing.